Greetings to everyone. So this is our mini project video presentation for our subject DUE 5012, that is Communicative English 3. Title of our project is a survey on student certification to Ungku Omar Polytechnic Laboratory. So I will start by introducing myself. My name is Nurul Atika binti Janis and number matric is 01DGU 18F 2070. And my team member is Nur Fatini Atasha binti Rosman and number matric is 01DGU 18F 2011. And Nur Adrana Safira binti Zuhilmi, number matric is 01DGU 18F 2016. Next is about objective to our video presentation. First is to evaluate student certification in using laboratory at Ungku Omar Polytechnic. Second, to provide smooth timetable for students carry out the laboratory activities. Third, to improve the laboratory facilities at Ungku Omar Polytechnic. Next, about research questions. First, how satisfied are the students with the laboratory facilities? Second, what are the problems they encounter as a laboratory user? Third, how can the laboratory facilities be improved? Okay, next about methodology. Instrument, we are using questionnaire. Sample, 57 students, male or female, from all departments at Polytechnic Ungku Omar. And data analysis, we are using bar graph and pie chart. So this is a sample of our questionnaire in mini project. So as you can see, we have a 50 question in our survey. Okay, so this is a bar graph. The bar graph show how many semester student attend the Ungku Omar Polytechnic Laboratory. So the vertical axis represent the number of respondents and the horizontal axis represent how many semester student attend the laboratory. So based on the graph, it can be seen that student attend the laboratory recorded the highest are in 5 semester at 22 students, and student attend the laboratory record the lowest are in 2 semester at 10 students. So the difference was 12 students in 5 semester and in 2 semesters. So this indicate that in 5 semesters student will attend the laboratory at Ungku Omar Polytechnic. Based on this analysis, it can be concluded that the majority of respondents attend the laboratory are in 5 semesters. Okay, so this is a pie chart. The pie chart show student opinion on laboratory facilities are up to date at Ungku Omar Polytechnic. The pie chart have 2 segments, yes and no. So based on the graph, it can be concluded that the percentage student who work for yes was 72% and student who work for no was 28%. So the difference was 43%, and this shows that students are satisfied with the laboratory facilities are up to date at Ungku Omar Polytechnic. Based on the analysis, it can be concluded that the majority of respondents who vote yes, this indicate that laboratory facilities at Ungku Omar Polytechnic are up to date.
Hello, my name is Nur Indana Safira binti Zuhimi, number matric 01DGU18F2016. I am from DGU 4A. So, I will present 2 parts of my graph. So, the bar graph on the screen shows us how many hours a week Ungku Omar Polytechnic students use the laboratory. On vertical line, it represents number of respondents. On the horizontal line, it represents hours. There are 4 segments, which is 1 to 2 hours a week, 3 to 4 hours a week, 5 to 6 hours a week, and more than 5 to 6 hours a week. 57 students were involved in the survey. Based on the graph, it can be seen that the largest percentage of Engku Omar Polytechnic students, which is 43% or just under a half of the students, use the laboratory for 1 to 2 hours a week. The second largest percentage of Engku Omar Polytechnic students, which is 38% or more than a third, use the laboratory 3 to 4 hours a week. As a whole, 50% or just under a fifth of the students use the laboratory 5 to 6 hours a week. And those who use the laboratory more than 5 to 6 hours a week were the minority, which is only 7% or under a tenth. This can be interpreted that Engku Omar Polytechnic students did not use the laboratory more than 5 hours a week. There is a huge difference of Engku Omar Polytechnic students who use the laboratory more than 5 to 6 hours a week and 1 to 2 hours a week, which is 37%. Based on analysis, it can be concluded that majority of Engku Omar Polytechnic students use the laboratory for 1 to 2 hours a week and 3 to 4 hours a week. Thank you. The pie chart on the screen shows us student opinions on the laboratory schedule in Engku Omar Polytechnic. There are two segments, which is yes and no. 57 students were involved in the survey. The largest percentage of Engku Omar Polytechnic students, which is 86% or more than 3/4 of the students, agree that the laboratory schedule are flexible. Those who disagree that laboratory schedule are flexible were the minority, which is only 40%. As a whole, 86% of the respondents agree. Just under a fifth of the respondents strongly disagree, which is only 40%. This can be interpreted as students are satisfied with the schedule. There is a huge difference between those who agree and disagree to be the point. Based on this analysis, it can be concluded that majority of the students totally agree that the schedule laboratory are flexible for Engku Omar Polytechnic students.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I hope you're fine today. My name is Nur Fatina Atasha binti Rosman, number matric 01DG18F2011. Today I will present about the analysis of bar graph and pie chart. The title is about student satisfaction toward Engku Omar Polytechnic Laboratory. Firstly, I will present about the bar graph. The bar graph show type of problem in the laboratory Engku Omar Polytechnic. The vertical axis represent the number of respondents and the horizontal the type of problem in the laboratory. There were 57 students who took part in the survey. Based on the graph, it can be seen that the problem of insufficient tools are slightly more than the multifunctional computer, with 21 and 18 in 2020. Insufficient tool is the most drastically happen in the laboratory with the highest number of respondents, which is 21 in 2020. Next, the problem of air conditioning recorded the highest of respondents with 11 in 2020. However, laboratory hygiene was just scored as much by 7 respondents in 2020, and it was least of problem in laboratory. Lastly, the laboratory hygiene problem was slightly lowest by 14 compared to insufficient tools problems in 2020. So, based on this analysis, it can be included that majority of the respondents selecting multifunctional computer and insufficient tool as a problem in the laboratory Engku Omar Polytechnic. We present about the pie chart. The pie chart shows student opinion about the staff laboratory in Engku Omar Polytechnic, and there have two segments, which is yes and no. 57 students or respondents were enrolled in the survey. As we can see, firstly, the largest percentage of Nkomo Polytechnic students, which is 94%, selected that staff are always available and helpful. Those who selecting that the staff are not always available and helpful is 6%. As a whole, 64 slightly more than third-fourth of respondents agree about the staff in the laboratory. However, less than one-tenth of respondents drastically disagree, which is 6%. This can be interpreted as they are satisfied about the staff laboratory Nkomo Polytechnic. Lastly, there is huge difference at 88% between those who agree and disagree. So, based on this analysis, it can be included that the majority of respondents totally agree that staff are always available and helpfully in the laboratory Nkomo Polytechnic. That's all from me. Thank you.
So for the conclusion, based on the findings, it can be concluded Nkomo Polytechnic students occasionally use the laboratory, which is 38%, and show that laboratory is not always to be used. And the majority of students is 68% of the respondents from semester 1 to 6 agree that the laboratory schedule is flexible. So the students satisfied with the laboratory facilities, which is 77%. However, the main problems toward the laboratory that faced by the student are efficient tool 52%, multi-functioning computer 49%, air conditioning is not in good condition 31%, and the minority state that laboratory is not clean 12%. So majority of students are agree that Nkomo Polytechnic management should provide suitable tools, regularly maintain the computers and air conditioning, and always clean the laboratory regularly. Okay, this is about recommendation. First, the infrastructure laboratory needs to be reviewed from time to time. Second, arranging a large number of computer theory courses, arrange enough experimental, and arrange a reasonable time for each student. And the last one is taking time to clean and care your equipment will help prevent your equipment from breaking down. Okay, that's all from us to present our mini project about student certification towards Nkomo Polytechnic Laboratory. And thank you.